Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name is Vin PF, and on today's episode we're going to be covering another delivery from the Somerton Whisky Club. Now I like to talk about them a little bit because they're one of my favourite kind of delivery services at the moment. They're UK based, but they've just announced that they are now going to be delivering across Europe as well. So if you're one of my European watchers and you've been interested in this service, then you can go and check them out and see what they're kind of doing for Europe now. Not sure about any price differences or whatever, but you can go and check them out and they'll do you a favour and see what you can do. Now, I was doing unboxing videos on these, but I kind of got a little bit behind on those things and never really wanted to do a review of an unboxing, like a proper review, because, you know, the neck pour thing and, you know, you need to get those impressions, you need to kind of fall in love with a whiskey sometimes. I do review some samples every now and again, but, you know, these are the things, when I get a bottle, you've got to do things properly, I think. So, here is the Mackmyra, and this is the Skogshallon, which literally translates to forest and then raspberry. So I don't know if that means something different in Swedish. So it might mean like, you know, like raspberries of the forest, or literally forest raspberries, or it might even mean wild raspberries, you know, in a kind of roundabout way. But in a literal sense, it's Skogs and then Hallon, which is forest and then raspberry. There's a good reason for that, but we'll come to that in a moment. Just want to talk a little bit about the actual whiskey boxings and things like that we've got here. So this is a Mackmyra Moment. There's the box for you. This is the Moment thing. And these are the special edition Mackmyras. And they are, I don't know if they're single casks, but they're definitely specially selected casks by their master blender. They've done about sort of 26 or so. This one here is so new that there's no information about it on their website just yet. But hopefully it'll be coming fairly soon. You'll be able to get your mitts on it. Now, it was an RRP of £115 reportedly, but because of the Somerton Whisky Club, I got this for £50 delivered, which is a little bit of a steal. I have to say, when we get into it, I don't think I would have paid £115 for it, but 50 quid seems fairly reasonable for something that's pretty different and pretty special. But I just wanted to draw attention to the packaging, which I don't usually do, and it's very clean, very kind of lack of writing. You know, this is literally the writing you've got on the back. There's some information, some kind of legal information and stuff, but on the inside, it's just the box. You know, like, I mean, just like any box, it'll go in the recycling. I'm not going to keep these things. I don't really be bothered too much with packaging and whatnot. But it's just nice to see that it's just not absolutely plastered with marketing nonsense that I don't care about. You know, like, it's just a bit unnecessary. If you want more information, people can go on the internet and see it, I always think. But, you know, if you like to read boxes, that's fine. Not having a go, just my personal preferences. Back to the actual whiskey itself. So, we mentioned raspberries, and that's a key part to this, because this is their kind of normal whiskey, let's say, but it's partially finished in bourbon casks that have previously held Swedish raspberry wine. Very interesting. Not a whiskey I've ever tried before, certainly nothing quite like that. A couple of things that we can probably glean from this. I don't know anything about the production method on this at all, other than, you know, the gravity distillery and all that stuff, but the partially finished leads me to believe that if it's not single cask, it could be, I don't know. If it's not, then they probably finished one and then blended it with some others that weren't. But I don't know. I don't truly know, I have to admit. Lack of information online right now. It is a limited bottling, and so are all of the Moments. This one, there was 1,511 bottles, and mine is 951. Hopefully, I don't think Somerton got them all, so hopefully they'll be around about at some point. Anyway, let's get on with the whiskey itself, and we can see if this thing is really worth that sort of money that we pay. So 50 quid, as I said, but £115 to people that are going to be buying this on the market when it releases. Now, on the nose, it's very different. Maybe not very different. Backtracking already. Maybe just a touch different, but lots of vanillas. Very vanilla forward. But it's got some fruitiness to it, some tannins, some wood, some tobacco. And that kind of back end of those raspberries. I would say, unless you knew you were picking raspberries out, if you tried this blind, I don't think you would pick raspberries out on the nose. Just an opinion. Right, let's try on the palate. Okay, so straight off the bat, we're getting that kind of peppery spiciness. More of them kind of tannic notes coming through, the woodiness, the tobacco, some drying elements to that. But there's this fruity sweetness to it. Now, again, with the raspberry notes. Now, this is where the raspberries really do come out, but they don't come out straight away on the palate. It's more about on the back end, not quite the finish element, but on the back end of that, when the main flavours are starting to die down, that's when the kind of raspberry kind of wafts and waves over your palate. Very interesting. The finish isn't overly long, medium-y, very peppery, fruity, but also drying at the same time. It's got this really nice kind of fruity raspberryness to it, but the dryiness of it kind of, it does make you want to drink more of it, which is a good thing, I guess. Now for me, I don't think I've ever quite tried a whiskey like it. It's similar in some regards to a lot of whiskies you would have tried, but that kind of raspberryness to it really isn't overpowering. So if you saw this and you're watching this now thinking, oh, I don't really like the idea of like a raspberry whiskey, it is that, but it's really on the back end. If you don't like the flavour of raspberries, then you're not going to enjoy the back end of this, that's for sure. But it's not in your face at all. I mean, the only reason that they've called this the kind of Skogshallon is that it's because of how it's been made, not because of the dominant flavour of the kind of the piece, let's say. But for me, I'm extremely happy that I've got this for £50. The thing is, I probably wouldn't have bought it even if I saw it for £50, because it's that nature of the single bottling, the single cask special stuff going on, that it's always difficult for me to just outlay that money without knowing if I'm going to try it or if I'm going to like it or whatever. I've tried a couple of the Mackmyra moments now, and I've not been disappointed by any of them. And if I could get them for £50, I think I would in the future, especially now that I've managed to have a bottle to dig deep and enjoy and really start picking out those notes. But yeah, I think a couple of things. If you've tried Mackmyra and you like Mackmyra, you're not going to be disappointed. I know that they are a bit polarising sometimes. Personally, I really like the kind of their trademark flavour that they have that bleeds between all of their core bottlings. They've all got this kind of same flavour type. It's a little bit like Penderyn and Arran, you know, they've all got that kind of really individual flavour that bleeds across their entire range. So yes, if you like Mackmyra, you're probably going to like this. If you like raspberries, you're probably going to like this. Generally speaking, if you're got an extremely open palate that doesn't really have much dislike for anything that's whiskey related, I think you'll probably find some enjoyment in it. But, you know, it's one of those things you've got to be careful of. Personally, thumbs up from me. If you've tried it and you want to let me know what you thought in the comments below, then please do so. Love to hear from you guys. Also, if you've tried any other of the moments that you think I should be checking out, then let me know below. Mackmyra in general, everything. Just chuck it below and I'll respond and we'll have a little chat. See you on the next video.